Alright, 2 packages just now arrived, so they're here about maybe an hour later than they're normally delivered, I think. Ugh. And of course, this one, if you just can't get them started, even though they tear very easily, getting that first little tear started doesn't, who knows. Anyways, this one is a Nintendo Switch game, Super Neptunia RPG. You know, kind of sucker for things. I don't remember what kind of game it is, but you know, it struck me as one that I might want to have as a stare at it and consider playing it sort of thing, considering my bad habit of staring at and not playing a lot of games. So let's stack this up here and begin with Hes My Master on Blu-ray. This is standard edition on Blu-ray. I see Japanese with English subtitles. Interesting. I'm trying to remember. Region A only. Special features. Interview. Japanese promos. Clean opening and closing. Aijo no Katamari. Anyways, is this a Sentai release? No. Yes it is. Sentai. I'm trying to remember. Just the one disc. Nice and simple. I guess if it's standard definition on Blu-ray, it should make sense. And I do think this is from the era when that's the best you can go. Next up we have the Master of Ragnarok and Blesser of Gesundheit. The Blesser of Gesundheit. Interesting. Now that I think about it, there's a kind of similar attire to all of these girls, or most of these girls. I do wonder if this one is an isekai cell phone. Completely uncut version. Magic, military, hard to tell. I'm curious, but at the same time you can kind of see I'm curious about digging into the content of this, and I haven't even, you know, looked at the back to say, okay, regions A and B, that's good for people who like to import. You know, that's an English dub. Special features. Eye-catch gallery, Japanese promotional video, and textless opening closing. Okay, something about high school students. That's okay. We'll just take a peek on the inside. Ooh! An invertible cover. And you got a disc 1, and you got a disc 2. Pretty cool. Next up, we've got Overlord Season 3. I don't know if it's a Season 3 Part 1 or just Season 3. Guess we'll find out by pulling this off. It includes fabric, poster, and art book. And see, that makes it kind of hard to tell, because, you know... Ooh, Goblin Girl. Let's see. I see Region A, I see English dub. Special features. 8 and 13 commentary, episode 11 video commentary, Play Pleiades 3, special preview collection, chapter 1 preview commercials, textless opening and closing songs. Okay, good to know. And now for this, I don't feel like, okay, yeah, I've been having trouble kind of grasping this, but now I see Ein's there. This is being one stubborn box. Jeez, even without that out, this is not wanting to come up. Interesting. A much more obvious picture. Always fun to see them. Mentioning the extras again there. This is episodes 1 through 8 Blu-ray. This is a DVD fell out of its casing. There's Blu-ray 2. That's DVD 1 and DVD 2. I don't know that we've seen as much of her. And I think this is all season 3, but I don't know how long season 3 is. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here saying this is a season 3 part 1, which is, you know, usually what you would see if it was just a part 1. You know, lots of neat stuff in that little art book. And then in here, if I open here, we can start taking a peek at what else this came with. So we have the art cards here. I'm not going to try and take them out of that. And this is like the cloth thing it mentioned, which looks pretty cool. I'm guessing it's Ein's from, trying to decide, yeah, from the inside cover, I think. Kind of hard to show it in all its glory here. Can I get this? No, I didn't leave enough space. So I guess I'm not showing that too well. I'm a little late tonight as it is. Can I try and put this back in here? No. Set that aside, set these aside, and take this and put it back in here just to give it a solid. Oh wait, graphic here. Mouths. Huh? I see. This thing really does make it all stick in there. Next up we got Megalo Box, which I think it's robot assisted boxing. Anyways, I've heard that this is good. And this is a Blu-ray version. We've got a DVD version there, but they're definitely different enough packaging that lets viz release. Okay. Now that looks a lot more form-fitting. They're two very interestingly different designs. Let's see. Blu-ray exclusives. Audio dramas, interviews with Japanese, introduction with English. Sorry, interview. Booga booga. Blu-ray set. Extra features. Clean opening and ending. Trailers, art gallery. And looks like there's 13 episodes. English and Japanese audio. Okay, that should give us a rough idea of what's in there. Region A down there. Let's open this up and get that a little bit more in there. And just take a look at disc 1 and disc 2. Gearless Team Shirado. Seems pretty straightforward. And then Bios and Bouts. Fighters Guide Round 1 through Round 13. Yeah, I guess that's referring to episodes 1 through 13. Makes sense. Now, let's take a look at the DVD version. Which, you know, looks very similar. But of course, you know, that one only lists the DVD special features. And if we take a peek on the inside, if only I could get this to stop catching on itself. Okay. Let's see some similar art. So on the inside of this, similar discs. I guess that's something that Viz does. Ooh, loose plastic. Cool. And then last but not least, we have Kanamemo. I'm still not sure what to make of this front. It looks kind of curious. Definitely interested. Region A, Japanese with English subtitles. Sometimes you have to search for what you need. Sometimes it gets delivered to you. Special features. Oh, this is a made in Japan release. I could have sworn it also came out of the ADV desk, but only because of certain titles that they released earlier on, which I think were ADV titles. I don't know. That could have been weird. Anyways, episodes 1 through 9, episodes 10 through 13. Lots of smiling girls with mostly not the same mouth. I guess all their mouths are just open. I guess you can't blame them. I mean, they were drawn without noses, so they must have trouble breathing. Oh, that one has a nose. So a couple noses there. Anyways, here's this week's anime DVD collection update. Okay, still a little slow on the watching front, but I did watch, I think, 8 episodes of Love Tyrant. I think I have like one more episode to go on the first disc. I could probably try to figure out what that is, but let's just talk about the anime itself. So, it's amusing. It definitely sets itself up for jokes that normally I don't really like, but sometimes it does something really different with them, and I think that keeps it just kind of entertaining and me just kind of finding it entertaining. So basically, you know how I'm not a fan of anime that are just like, oh, it's really funny because we heard a guy. This one is still along those lines, but it has some different humor that it mixes it up a little bit more and kind of sets it up where other people are in theory being hurt but aren't. I mean, I guess it's mostly focused on 2 characters, but for the most part, one character kind of has multiple scenes where they end up with 1 or more knives sticking out of mostly their head, and they just don't know or care. So the anime is still one where we're supposed to take some enjoyment from the fact that our main character, I guess, gets hurt some, but it also knows to take it seriously sometimes, and it just keeps going very off the wall with some of its stuff. It keeps it kind of interesting and entertaining. So an example of the sort of thing where it's like, just how this is approaching the tropes a little bit differently and coming out more entertaining because of that. So like, one of the girls takes a picture through a window of some other girls changing in a locker room. And then she says, oh, I'm going to email it to the guy, just because, as a commemorative photo or something like that. And she doesn't realize what she's setting him up for, but we the audience kind of watch that, and we expect the normal anime trope here is that, oh, the lady discovered the picture on his phone somehow, maybe he didn't notice it was there, and he gets beat up or something for it. And it's completely stupid and disgusting, and I'm not a big fan of that kind of humor. So I almost didn't want to continue because I could see that it was setting that up, but it ended up not doing that. It was really just a joke to get him to yeet his phone in a very comical fashion for him to just be in a panic mode about it. And nothing else really happened of it. So I would say that's actually positive for the anime, because it's some good physical slapstick humor that's not like pain to the characters, it's just panicking, I guess. Anyways, I'm not sure what to think of the series as a whole, because it has done very entertaining and funny things at many parts of it, and it does have some interesting kind of just twist on the whole setup. I don't know if I want to talk about that too much. I can say that I'm not a big fan of the pink-haired girl. Like, I'm still waiting for her to make her character interesting other than she's just extreme, whereas the interactions with the other characters have been set up for jokes that work, and maybe the idea is she's more set up for real story, But then I guess I'm wondering if I'm finding the real story weak, and it's a matter of finding out how it pays off. So I would have to continue watching and finishing it to find out, which is possible. Although at the same time, I do have to admit that maybe trying to binge watch Overlord Season 3 is not outside of the question. I don't know. I still think I'm probably going to try and finish this just because I want to know. Oh my god, that's so much. I keep not watching a whole lot of stuff. I keep not making progress. I spent a lot of Saturday sleeping. Like, I slept in until 1 or 2, and I still took like 3 naps, and was barely awake. So in theory, Sunday I could have been doing more. Maybe I did watch some of that. I don't know. I keep feeling like not doing anything, and so it's hard to get stuff done. Because there's always little things I need to do. Obviously, since I didn't completely get rid of all these piles, they've all built up again, and I have to get rid of these piles. I got a Super Smash Brothers tournament on Friday. Don't worry too much about it. It's it's not a me being good at the game sort of thing. It's a me encouraging people to have fun, giving them someone to play against. I'm going there expecting to lose, but I don't care because I've got theming in mind. And really cool thing, Summer Games Done Quick is going on right now, and my brother actually played 4 AM yesterday, which I've mentioned before in the Discord, so any of you in there already know that. And I don't know if any of you will actually care. Anyways, okay, stuff. I'm feeling a little drifty. I did watch Captain Marvel. You know, I have it on DVD Blu-ray, and so my friend who hadn't seen it, but he has seen Endgame, decided, oh, let's watch it. And I would call it a better movie than Dark Phoenix. I know that's not setting the bar very high. There's definitely problems with it, but, you know, it just kind of goes to show. You know, I guess I get to see all the crappy movies now. And let's see. I don't really like the character Captain Marvel. It's hard to tell how much of that is. I'm not sure if I like the actress herself. Like, I think she might be a kind of shitty person, but I don't know if that's actually the case. All I know is it didn't feel like it was unpolished like Dark Phoenix was. It felt more like, well, I know the movie as a whole kind of felt slippery, I guess. Like, it was there, but it just kind of kept sliding places. Like, it didn't feel like you were ever on sure footing in terms of the kind of story it was trying to tell. And I don't know, something about the main character just didn't convince me, and I'm not sure if I can think about what. I also wasn't a big fan of the cat. I don't think he was bad, I just kind of felt like it made things unrealistic, and for a Marvel cinematic movie, that should probably be an indication. Like, there's some interesting comedy to it maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to say that thing, because I didn't like that, didn't care for that rather, and there's probably not much to say. So, you know, for the most part, there are some scenes that kind of looked conceptually neat. And I don't think I would consider it my least favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, but it was anyways, at this point, that pretty much means that the next Marvel Cinematic Universe movie for me to watch is Endgame, and yeah, I can actually kind of look forward to that, because there's a chance that I might go and see it with my friend on Friday. Same one who I said already had seen it before, but I think he's probably interested in making sure I get to see it. He can probably sense my lack of motivation. I'm wondering if he kind of feels it too, because, you know, he kind of says how he feels like he's coming over to my place or getting over to my place later in the evening than usual, and we're both the same age, just a couple months difference. So we could be hitting similar points in our lives. Or it could be something with the weather here, or maybe I'm influencing him. Probably not me and him influencing me, because I don't know. I guess because I'm the more social one. But anyways, part of it, I think, why he could maybe justify it is the whole thing where I guess on Friday they're going to be re-releasing Endgame into theaters with 7 extra minutes of footage put on the end of it in some way. I guess showing the state of things at the end some more, or maybe unrelated scenes. I don't entirely know. All I know is they're hoping to break Avatar's box office record, which I certainly hope they do. That almost makes me feel like I could be motivated to go and do it myself, except, you know, all the other things I have to do on my own. So, I don't know. Part of the reason I am okay with Avatar being broken is I just don't think I was not that impressed by Avatar. It was mostly visual appeal, but I guess I just don't tend to latch on to and enjoy things by visual appeal alone, per se. Usually there has to be something else, otherwise I'm just like, fine, it's whatever. But Avatar was, oh, this is an experience, and it was a kind of dumb story. Like, I'd almost prefer watching Dances with Wolves, because it was basically Dances with Wolves in space or something like that. I'm trying to remember how it's been put. And maybe I'll have a different opinion if I rewatch Dances with Wolves for the first time in, what, 20 years maybe? But, I don't know. I'm digressing. Because at this point, I guess it's just a get ready for tonight. Everything tonight is going later than usual. My anime got delivered an hour later. My brother's, he was doing an Amazon delivery block, and that one went on much longer, so he's not going to be here until about an hour from now, which is maybe about 45 minutes later, and you know, everything's just late. So sorry about the lateness, but yeah, we're doing stuff. Oh, there's where March comes in like a lion, volume 4. I was just thinking that I have that and I really ought to finish that series, assuming that finishes that series. Anyways, was there anything to mention about next month's anime? I did finally take care of that last night, but I can't think of anything. Y'all, have a nice week.